good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the free updates for select Nintendo Switch 2 games. Now, one thing that some people don't know, because people have spread all sorts of weirdness, is that Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be getting free updates for Nintendo Switch 1 games. So these are not like the Nintendo Switch 2 editions, where those have probably some more features added in and DLC, other stuff like that, bigger upgrades to them. This one's going to be a little bit smaller stuff, but it's still going to be available for a free update. So if you have the game on your Nintendo Switch 1 and you put this game into your Nintendo Switch 2, or if you have it on your account, you download the game digitally, this will update. This will update on there and you'll be able to get these features. We're going to go down every single one, what's good, what's bad, positive, negative, all that good stuff. So let's do this. We're going to start off with ARMS, and with ARMS, it's visuals, optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display, and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. So it's going to be a bump in resolution. The game runs, I think, at 1080p on docked and 720p handheld. So maybe we get a native 1080p for handheld and maybe higher 1440p or 4K resolution. Who knows? There's also frame rate optimized for Switch 2 for smoother movement, even when playing with 3 or more players. The game already runs at 60 frames per second, and I think it runs at 60 frames per second even with 3 or more players. I don't recall it being cut down. So are they saying 120 frames per second? That might be ARMS at 4K 120 or 1440p 120. That would be really good. I would definitely maybe play ARMS again just to see how smooth it looks. So I like that. And there's also HDR support. This is a very bright, vibrant, and colorful game. So having HDR support is going to be really good for this, because it already looks good on a Switch 1. So that's good. Next up is Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain. It's going to support game share for up to 4 people can play in party mode, and share locally or share online via game chat. So you've got game chat, a game share as well. So good stuff there. This is definitely more of a party game. I think that'd be pretty cool to play. I mean, most people, I don't know if they're going to play this, but if they were going to play it, game share it with people in the house or something, or even online. All right, next up, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Let's go. This is a pretty good game. Visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. I don't know what resolution this game normally runs at, but maybe 1080p now, if it's not at 1080p already, or maybe, what would it be, 1440p, or maybe higher than that, we'll see. HDR support, which is good. Once again, colorful game, that's also good. And also game share support, all the courses, that's good. And share locally or share online via game chat. Okay, good stuff too as well. All right, Clubhouse Games, up to 4 people can play 34 games. Share locally or share online. So Clubhouse Games still sells. People still buy this game, but now you're going to be able to game share it with 1 copy. So you don't even need to have the other, copies of the game. People can just play it. So this is very good for parties and stuff like that. So, these are very good. I like Clubhouse Games. It's a good game. I played it. I streamed it with you guys before. It's fun. Same thing, Game Builder Garage. Visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. And now supports the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. We talked about this, how this game would be considerably better with mouse controls, because now you can actually drag and drop like you're building a game. It's going to be easier than using the touchscreen or using an analog. So this actually makes the game considerably better. But yeah, mouse controls make this way better if you're playing on like a desktop setup. So that's very good. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. People wondered why this one was getting it. And all that's happening here is visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 displays, high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. So it's probably going to run at 4K. This game runs at 1080p, maybe 1440p. Don't want to say 4K 100%, so 1440p. So that's good. Next up, okay, here we go. This is the RGT right now, right? We got to see. All right, visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 displays, high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. So that's definitely good. Frame rates improved for smoother movement on Nintendo Switch 2. So smoother movement. We don't know if that's 60 frames. That could be 30 frames per second, right? That could be 30. But honestly, if they lock this down to 30, that is a significant, which is crazy to say it, but this game running at a locked 30 is a significant improvement. It's a little sad, but it's a significant improvement over the base game. It really is. And of course, the resolution in this game is not good. Like, it's not great at all. Like, it looks kind of crusty. So having this game look sharper on top of it running at a locked 30, or let's just say 30 and above, even if it was an unlocked 30, that's how bad this game runs at times. An unlocked 30 would feel like 60. 30 frames for this game. I'm not even defending it, guys. You guys know I made my videos on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I did not like, that was the major issue with the game. Was the visuals obviously weren't great. Resolution was not great, especially portable mode. But the frame rate was the worst thing, especially in water. In water, the frame rate was so bad. Getting this game to lock 30 would feel like a brand new game. Like, I'm gonna go back. This will be one of the first games I test on Switch 2. So I'm not saying that it's going to be 30. I'm not saying that because the game already targets 30, so they could target 60, and then maybe it dips or it's locked at 60. The Switch 2 has plenty of overhead room with its RAM and its allocation to get this game up to 60. Heck, you can overclock the Switch 1 and get this game going at 60. So the Switch 2 has plenty of room to get this game going at 60. At the bare minimum, 30. Because it already targets 30. It runs at 30 sometimes, but not frequently, especially in certain areas. So having Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have frame rate improved with resolution bump as well, that is a huge boost. Improved for smoother movement. They don't say exactly what the frame rate's gonna be, which makes me think maybe it's unlocked, but then again, they didn't say that. Arms runs pretty much perfect, and they didn't give us the actual number either. So, yeah, they don't ever talk about numbers too much. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Let's talk about this game as well. June 5th, so these are all launch, which I did tell you guys, these will all probably be at launch since they're willing to talk about them. I think that there will be more updates, free updates, so we'll talk about that in just a bit. We have visuals, optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display, high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. That's good. The game runs at, I think the game runs at 1080p on Switch 2. So 1080p, so maybe 1440p, 60 frames per second, maybe higher, we'll see. Frame rate, optimized for smoother movement on Nintendo Switch 2, including Bowser's Fury. So the game runs at 60 frames per second, pretty much locked on Switch 1. There might be a dip here or there, but it pretty much runs locked at 60 frames per second. Bowser's Fury is the issue. That game runs at a unstable 60 when docked. Dips, it kind of goes here and there, because that game's like a full free open world. It's separate from the actual design of the game, so I think that caused the issues with Bowser's Fury. The portable mode, which is really crazy, runs at 30 frames per second compared to 60 docked. We usually don't see a difference that big on Nintendo first-party games. If a game runs at 60 docked, it probably runs at 60 portable, just with lower resolution. This game is different. So I'm guessing, once again, battery life was the issue there. Getting that at 60 frames per second portable, and then locking it down at 60 docked is the good thing for that. It actually makes Bowser's Fury playing portable way better. You're used to 60 frames, and then all of a sudden you got to go to 30 if you want to play it portable. It makes it just don't want to play portable, you know? So this is definitely good. I'm going to go back and play it now. We got HDR support for Bowser's Fury only. So I'm guessing there's something there, the issue with the code or what they did with the graphics where it wouldn't work. But Bowser's Fury is a newer game. It was newer developed, so it gets that HDR support. So maybe that's what it is. All right, we got game share support as well. Very good. Up to 4 people can play Super Mario 3D World. In Bowser's Fury, 2 people can play together, controlling Mario and the other controlling Bowser Jr. This game share stuff is incredible. It's really, really good that they're allowing people to have just one copy, and then you can play with your family and friends. You don't need to buy another one with game share. That is an incredible feature that people are going to use. People are family get-togethers, outings, whatever. People are going to use game share like crazy. Nintendo just needs to make sure that they market it and advertise it the right way as well. Share locally or share online via game chat. So you can also do it online. And also game chat's going to be great too for this type of game. Having everybody play Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. That was the major issue that people had with the original Super Mario 3D World. Now they fixed it in the Switch port. We got online play. It's kind of crusty though. The online, so I'm hoping that we have some improvements to the online with this one as well, but they didn't say anything here, so probably not. Let's talk about this. We got some big updates here too. So Super Mario Odyssey, June 5th. Here are the updates. Visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high resolution TVs for improved image quality. Very good on there. This game runs at 900p on the Switch 1. Getting it cleaner on a high resolution TV, that would, I mean, I didn't notice it too much when I first played it. But when I played it again on my OLED, you can notice a little bit of that 900p being stretched. I didn't notice it at first because I didn't have as good of a TV when this game first came out. But on the newer TVs, it still looks good. But it doesn't look quite as good as it could look, considering how good the art and the graphics are in the game. So I like that. HDR support, very good. The game is bright and colorful. It's going to make it look even better. So that's also good. Game share support, 2 people can play together. That's good. Love the game share support and game chat as well. Share local or online with game chat. So you can go online with somebody else and play Cappy's Adventure. All right, next up, another big one here, guys. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So, visuals. Optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality, HDR support. Okay, what's going on here? Because I think Wario64 said something about this to where resolution is not, or not resolution, where frame rate is not affected here, or he said something like it is, or it's going to be. But that's the problem with this game. It's not resolution. The problem is the frame rate. So I'm looking to see if you're playing it on Switch 2, it locks it down at the frame rate, or what's going on there, because it doesn't say that the frame rate is improved on that one. So we're going to have to do some tests. I hope that it is, but if it isn't, that's definitely not a good thing if you play this on Switch 2 and the frame rate is the same. I'm guessing it will be better though. I'm guessing it will be more stable because the game targets 60 frames per second, but never actually like stays consistent at 60 frames per second. Same thing for Link's Awakening, visuals improved, HDR support. So we'll see about that. I'm going to check out what Wario64 has to say on that situation with this, because once again, I think he did say something else. Okay, so here's what he said on this. Seeing people say that Zelda games, Echoes of Wisdom, and Link's Awakening already have unlocked frame rate / target 60 frames per second. So hopefully the Switch 2 juice is all it needs to give frame rate benefits. Okay, so he's just talking about people are letting him know, because in his original thing, he just said res and all that. And Juice Man Bond let him know about that because, yeah, it already does target that. It looks like it's probably just going to lock it down because it already targets it, but we're going to have to wait and see. Another thing, before we kind of wrap this video up talking about this, some games, now, once again, don't quote me 100% on this, but some games Nintendo tested, they just run better off the top because of the emulation / hardware hybrid of backwards compatibility. It's not just straight up backwards compatibility. Like where they just took a Switch 1 and jammed it into a Switch 2. It's actually emulated a bit as well. So some games just off the top are going to run better. That could happen, which Nintendo did detail or talked about in their developer diary with the Nintendo Switch 2, that when they tested, games just ran better. These are the games that are actually getting updates for resolution, updates for things like to be better. So we'll see if it actually locks it down when it comes to The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and Link's Awakening. But right now, I think this is pretty good for these right here. Super Mario Odyssey, fantastic. Bowser's Fury, Super Mario 3D World. These are the big ones right here. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So very happy about this right here. Another really important thing to remember here is that all of these games is for the launch, and Nintendo has not stated that these are the only games coming. There could be more in the future, and I'm guessing since Nintendo is dating and making sure that they let people know about these initial batch of games, there's going to be more games that get free updates as we go along, depending on what Nintendo wants to do with Nintendo Switch 2 editions compared to free updates to some games that have the unlocked frame rates that already just run better. So I think there's a lot of stuff that goes into picking which games and everything when it comes to resources. But yeah, I think there's going to be even more games, so maybe even Xenoblade and other titles could get some updates as well. So we're going to have to wait and see on that too. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think about these updates, and what games are you going to go back and play and test out because of these updates? And what else would you like to see Nintendo do for updates in the future? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers as well. Hit the like button, notification bell, and we'll see you guys for the next video.